got maced.
By the police.
And what happened? You were trying to go inside the Capitol?
Yeah, I made it like a foot inside and they pushed me out and they maced me.
What's your name? Where are you
My
from?
name is Elizabeth. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee.
And why did you want to go in?
We're storming the Capitol. It's a revolution.
Nope.
Made it like a foot inside and they pushed me out and they maced me. It's a revolution. Made it like a foot inside and they pushed me out and they maced me.
Welcome to the Be Progressive Show. I'm Brandon Neal. It is Monday, January the 7th. And boy, oh boy, is the political world has been turned upside down as of yesterday. We're still following all this. I'll start the show off here with Lindsey Graham pretending to care a little bit about what happened yesterday. But did he care? Do we really know?
The law in their own hands. So what am I calling for? I'm calling for a joint task force to be assembled and spend all the time and money necessary to identify every person who breached the security of the Capitol, who occupied the chambers, who invaded offices and destroyed property. There's a ton of video evidence out there. I was interviewed this morning by 2 FBI agents. They came to my house wanting to know if I had any surveillance cameras outside my house. I did not, but I'm encouraged they're on the case. Trust me, in the social media world that exists today, it won't be that hard to find thousands of people who took the law in their own hands. The people sitting in the chairs need to be sitting in a jail cell. The people who attacked the Capitol Hill police need to be charged with attacking a police officer. Sedition may be a charge for some of these people. So I will, for the next 6 years, God willing, every week ask of the Department of Justice, starting with this Department of Justice and the next Department of Justice, what kind of progress are you making in holding those accountable, the domestic terrorists who took over the House and the Senate chambers and laid waste to Capitol Hill? What do you need that you don't have? If you need more prosecutors, money will not be an object. If you need more investigators, we'll provide you the resources. This is a moment for the nation to show will and determination, to be a nation of laws, that anarchy shall not reign, the Constitution controls, not the mob.
Well, it was a good speech, Lindsey. But, you know, how much of that is sincere? Out of Lindsey Graham, you can never tell. But he did also have a good little grandstanding speech there, too, after the whole thing got quelled and they came back and convened the joint session. He spoke up again. So I don't know whether it's coming from a place of, sincerity or if this is just political, theater for him or whatever, because it looks like MAGA's finally jumped the shark and it's pretty much over with. This is a great stopping point for everyone that wants to get off the MAGA train to get off the MAGA train. And there's not going to be very many people on it when it takes off again after yesterday's little stunt. This is not something that the Republican Party, I think, is going to take lightly. I mean, it looks awful. So we have Nancy Pelosi, we have Chuck Schumer, and we also have other Republicans all calling now for the use of the 25th Amendment to remove Trump from office immediately. Whether that happens or not, I don't know, but I got a sense of urgency about this, that they aren't fucking around with this, I don't think. This might actually happen. Which, will that make Pence the shortest reigning president? Is that how that will work? Because what is it, Harrison was served a month before he died? So yeah, Pence would probably be the shortest, if that's how that works. Because I honestly don't know. So, all right, let's get into some stories here. The big question that I had last night, and the question that apparently Joe Scarborough had this morning, which I can't stand Joe Scarborough. I really can't stand Morning Joe or Mika. But his rant about this was spot on. I'll give it to him. It's exactly correct. And he said motherfucker on NBC. But where were the cops? Why is the Capitol building of the United States of America not secured? That hodgepodge group of a few hundred with literally like no guns, knives. They weren't allowed to have them. Now they did have flags and flagpoles and pieces of wood and makeshift weapons, but they weren't able to bring weapons, like firearms or knives or anything like that. And they still were able to just waltz their ass right on in the Capitol and have a seat in Nancy Pelosi's desk, pull up her emails, go sit on the speaker floor of the House, the House, and then go over to the Senate. I mean, it was amazing to me, and I thought, why were I don't get it. I always felt like if I always think, man, what happens if someone bum rushes the White House or the Capitol building? You just get a bunch of people running. I would just assume that you would be shot by a sniper. Like, you wouldn't even get that far. Now, I know there was a lot of people here, and they're not going to start some massive massacre, and that makes things a little bit more difficult. But I really expected security at the Capitol building to be a little bit better than this. And then we see video of the police, the Capitol Police pulling the barriers and letting these guys in. Now, were they letting them in because they talked about with, their superiors, and that's the best thing they should do right now for security? Maybe. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know the situation, but it looks really bad when you have a video of these cops letting these people in, and then shortly thereafter you have cell phone video of a lot of the MAGA people taking selfies with the Capitol Police, and they're not doing anything. They fought them back, as far as the crowd goes. There was scuffling, there was a lot of pepper spray and that kind of thing, but there was not really any, I felt like to me that if these morons can do this, that any group that has any intelligence whatsoever, from another country or a domestic terrorist, can just, stroll right on in. Now, I know they were probably stopped at some checkpoint at some point along the way. And so they probably, like I said, they weren't allowed to carry weapons. But how easily would that have been for someone to, just bring some sort of a small pipe bomb? How easy would that be? Smuggle it in. You got this chaos going on. They don't know what's going on. I don't know. I was shocked. And Joe Scarborough kind of went off on it this morning too. And it just doesn't make any sense, But I bet you things change now. Because that was a massive security breach, which you had all these turds that were sitting there, like that douchebag that was sitting in Nancy's desk and stuff. And I have a video of that too. I'll play it. I think this is it. No, that's not the one. Where is it? This is what happens when you don't prepare for the show. You just blindly go through and look. Yeah, here it is. Well, maybe not. Maybe it was a previous video. Let's reload this. There we go. And more ads. That's all the internet is. It's just a big, gigantic ad.
Tonight, a man from Northwest Arkansas, seen in a viral photo sitting inside House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office, is speaking about why he was there and what he was doing. Richard Barnett from Gravette says he traveled to D.C. to hear President Trump speak today. 5 News spoke with Barnett tonight and confirmed it is him in that photo, and we tried to find out exactly what he was thinking. 5 News reporter Joe Ellison has his story.
As I'm looking at the bathroom, I walk by and there's doors open to offices. I looked in and saw it was Nancy Pelosi's office.
Richard Barnett from Gravette, Arkansas says he's the man in this photo. It was taken inside of the Capitol and at House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office.
So I went in there, I set my flag down, which me and her got to talk about because I want my flag back. But anyway, I set my flag down and I sat down here at my desk. I'm a taxpayer, I'm a patriot. That ain't her desk. We loaned her that desk. And she ain't appreciating the desk, so I thought I'd sit down and appreciate the desk. I threw my feet up on the desk. At that point, I realized that my had cut me also, and I bled on her envelope. So I picked up the envelope and put it in my pocket, and I put a quarter on the desk. Because I'm not a thief. She ain't worth the quarter, but I paid for that envelope. I didn't steal anything, and I didn't tear anything up. But we don't do that. We're patriots.
The violence that
Really? You're patriots? You're a patriot? We don't tear things up? The delusion runs strong with these people, man. These people are fucking crazy. And so we know who he is. We have his name. There have been a few others. I wanted to show, if I have it here on my Twitter, I think I retweeted it for everybody. Here it is. So this is a Twitter thread that I'm going to retweet it again. It has a lot of photos of all of these people of the event, individuals, so we can start identifying them. And I did see that there's this gentleman right here was smart enough to wear his employee badge for his job, and he has since been fired. And I thought I had that pulled up too, but once again I do not. So, yeah, that's not it. Okay. Anyway, yeah, he the company saw that he had that on, and so they immediately fired him. And I think that's what's going to happen to a lot of these people here. You know, every single one of these people, we're going to go through and we're going to dox them, and we're going to find out who they are, and we're going to turn all that information over to the FBI. And trust me, Twitter can fucking dox some people. I don't know how they do it, but they can, and they're good at it. So there's a lot of photos here. Yeah, man, it just keeps going. Look at all of these people. So anyway, I would suggest to go through that if you think that you might know any of these people. There's no chance in hell I know any of these people, so it's not worth me messing with. But this is the account. I'll retweet this again. As a matter of fact, I think I'll pin this to my account. But I'll have it pinned here. And you know, we need to go through and just find out who all these people are. And like Lindsey Graham said there, maybe some sedition charges, you know. It's what these people deserve. Speaking of another one here that needs to be prosecuted. Pro-Trump congressman has a hard time believing the Capitol rioters are actual true Trump supporters. While locked in his office Wednesday like a bitch. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's not what that says. In his office Wednesday evening amid violent, deadly protest in the outside of the U.S. Capitol, Representative Markwayne Mullin, who fucking names their kid Markwayne? What the fuck is wrong with you people in Oklahoma? He told Savannah Guthrie, NBC's Savannah Guthrie, by telephone that both sides were to blame for the political rhetoric, which resulted in rioters storming the building and shutting down a joint session of Congress convened to count Joe Biden's certified victory in the Electoral College. Mullin said no shots were fired in the House chamber, but the guns were drawn. When glass was broken, he said law enforcement officers showed phenomenal restraint when they were strongly outnumbered. He said that he stood right there with them and made sure that the chamber was cleared, but yet there's pictures of him like crawling under a desk. But, you know, he's just another one that spews the rhetoric that supports Donald Trump and you know, just eggs it on, and then, you know, comes out here, and it's just I cannot believe that we don't just laugh these people away when they say that this was Antifa. I'm sorry. I mean, just why do we even talk to these people? You know, it's like I've never felt more gaslit in my life. You know, look at that. You got all these people with Trump shit all over them. And sure, if you were Antifa and you wanted to infiltrate the MAGA group, you would wear all that stuff. I get that. But the thing with this is the Antifa had no reason to be there, and they weren't fighting for anything. You know, the leftist wasn't fighting for anything because we won the election. And there was just Trumpers there, man. Just Trumpers. That's it. And it was real obvious that they were pissed off because Mike Pence wasn't going to certify the election and they were trying to stop it. So, I mean, this clown ass shit, man. This whole like Antifa, just come on. I know that you use that as an Antifa, communism, and socialism are like your three go-to, blame everything on that, but they weren't even close. They weren't anywhere near. It wasn't them. It was Trump. It's all Trump's bullshit. They're all on Parler bragging about it, bragging that they're Trumpers and bragging that they did this. So, you know, just shut up. No one wants to hear that. We're moving on. We know the truth. Oh, boy. So that's what we looked at there. Let's see what we got next. I don't think I pulled that right article on that one. I did see today that Elaine Chao, who is Mitch McConnell's wife, was the transportation secretary. And after this violent protest in the Congress, she has now resigned. And she says, quote, "Yesterday our country experienced a traumatic and entirely avoidable event as supporters of the president stormed the Capitol building following a rally he addressed." Chao wrote in a letter to Transportation Department staff obtained by The Hill, quote, "As I'm sure is the case with many of you, it has deeply troubled me in a way that I simply cannot set aside. Her exit is a sharp rebuke of the president who has alienated even some of his closest supporters with his increasingly unhinged rhetoric. Chao has served as the transportation secretary since Trump's inauguration. She served as labor secretary for 8 years under George W. Bush. She's married to minority leader now, Bitch McConnell, who spent much of the Wednesday locked in an undisclosed location being a turtle. And, you know, we're going to see some of the, I mean, this is, like I said, this is a good stopping point for the MAGA train, and everyone's going to be able to get off here. And anyone that wants to exit the train can now. This is a perfect excuse to say, hey, look, I don't support this, and they did that, so we're done. You know, you have so many cowardly Republicans that have just cowered down to Donald Trump and just scared to death to make the man mad because, you know, they didn't want their political careers ruined by him because he is a toxic mouthpiece that will say anything if you make him mad. And so they've really been just cowering, and that's the problem. Donald Trump and all the actions and the issues that he has caused are directly responsible. The Republicans are directly responsible for him and the things that he's done, and including this insurrection, this coup d'etat is what I like to call it. Yeah, you're responsible for this, you know, but you are going to see Republicans now that there's a good quality excuse to get off the Trump train, that you're going to see the Trump train empty, and there's not going to be a lot left on there when it takes off again, if it ever does. So that's going to be an interesting it's going to be an interesting show to see who, you know, we saw last night that there were still 6 senators, Tuberville and Cruz and Hawley, and I can't remember, there's like 3 others, that even after what happened and blood was spilled in the halls of Congress, they went right back in there and still objected and, you know, and still played along with Donald Trump's conspiracy ruse of losing an election. These people need to be charged with sedition, and they need to be removed from Congress. But there's a lot of things that need to be done that will not be done because it's how it is. Nothing ever happens. So See, Nancy here, I'll play this, was her response to the saying that we should use the 25th Amendment and remove Donald Trump immediately, which I agree with.
In calling for this seditious act, the President has committed an unspeakable assault on our nation and our people. I join the Senate Democratic leader in calling on the Vice President to remove this President by immediately invoking the 25th Amendment. If the Vice President and Cabinet do not act, the Congress may be prepared to move forward with impeachment. That is the overwhelming sentiment of my caucus. And the American people, by the way. Justice will be done to those who carried out these acts, which were acts of sedition and acts of cowardice. To those whose purpose was to deter our responsibility, you have failed.
So, I really never thought that I would actually hear Nancy Pelosi say somebody should be charged with sedition. I mean, that's just like, I don't know why. I just feel like she just lets everything else go. So why the hell not? You know, like, why would she not just let this go too? Oh, this made me laugh. I'm kind of a fan of Jamiroquai. I have been for a long time in his band, and I saw that and made me laugh a lot. But let's see, what else do we have? Let's take a look at the Republican loser list, and we've always got Dinesh D'Souza. He's a big Republican loser. Let's see what's he saying now. See, they're immediately trying to point out, you know, instances in which Antifa were violent, you know, and you know, Antifa has never killed anyone. Antifa did burn buildings. They did, you know, burn cop cars and riot and do things they should not have done, and we don't support that. But they did not break into Congress and desecrate the great history of our nation by breaking in and like I said last night, you know, spreading their disgusting MAGA stank all over the halls of Congress. And they didn't do that, you know. It's sad. But you'll see a lot of excuse making now. So that's what they're, you know, hypocritical. What happened when this happened? What happened? What if, what about? Whataboutism is really all the Republican Party has these days. And see, listen, I mean, this is the essential stupidity of the Republican establishment, is that it always accepts the other side's narrative, even though the outrage on the left is entirely strategic, a form of coordinated theater to create panic on our side. When will we learn to think and act for ourselves? I have been a Republican since Reagan, and I have a party with a great history, but my God, what kind of cowering, whimpering, pathetic animal do you have here? Get up off of your fours and stand on your two legs. Have some basic human pride and self-respect, you disgraceful cowards. I'm not real sure who he's talking to here. Shut up, convict. Awesome. That's what I always call. He actually responded to me one time. I called him a convict or a felon or something, and he tried to fight back by like insulting me, and it just didn't. I came back at him, and he stopped. So doing something right when I trigger these twats. So let's. The other thing I wanted to do tonight before we log out here is I wanted to look at. Yeah, here it is. I wanted to look at the Arizona Republican Party Twitter. I haven't looked at it today. What? Oh yeah, they're showing that Rep. Gosar and Cruz both objected. Yeah, it's like a 16-year-old 8chan QAnon kid that's like mentally not all there that runs this Arizona GOP account. You should go through and look. It's like crazy far out there. Wanted to look at news. Let's go over and let's pop in to Newsmax, because they always have a always have a live stream going. Let's see what's on it.
I didn't see a fence at all,
Right.
you know, but
Well, we appreciate your time. Thank you, guys. Stay safe here in D.C. We'll be reporting live from the U.S. Capitol all afternoon into the evening. For now, back to you guys in the studio.
Michael, it does appear, unless you've changed your location a little bit, that there are people wandering around behind you. Have people been allowed back in the area?
It does right now, Heather. Folks have been allowed to walk right up to the edge of the reflecting pool behind us. This is a recent development in the last 10 minutes, and if we pan over to the left, we can see the barriers. Folks are starting to mill about and walk towards First Avenue, and that is the street, First Street, and that is the...
There, where we can't see.
Have work to do here, but going back to yesterday, how do we have a building that is supposed to be so secure, as Lindsey Graham said, in the aftermath of 9/11,
This
nearly
clown
20
ass.
years
I've never
to
seen
the
this guy
day,
before.
Where a building of such importance could be breached effectively by amateurs?
Well, there's several things going on. First of all, there probably was not good intelligence information developed before this particular event. The Capitol Police, I think, were caught completely off guard. Typically, Trump rallies are always very, very peaceful. Historically, they have always been peaceful. In this particular case, you have to realize there are professional instigators who go from riot to riot, from town to town, much like they did in the Midwest, from Chicago to Kenosha to Detroit. These are professional people who monitor and watch for events like this to create agitation.
You know it wasn't Antifa, you clown. Let's go get you some clown shoes and some clown hair, and you can flap in the breeze as a clown. Moron. Let's see. Oh, here's Greg Kelly. He always has good Trump ass-kissing tweets. Let's see. Great supporter of truth and Trump is Kevin McCullough. Oh, yeah, he's playing up another Trump ass-kisser. I like that Merrick Garland is now Attorney General, and not that I really care because, you know, Merrick Garland is just another centrist, Obama centrist, but, you know, it is kind of fitting that he didn't get put on the Supreme Court, so he deserves something there. So anyway, folks, I think all the rioting is pretty much calmed down there now. We don't see any more of the, like they were just showing there, that there's, you know, really no more activity or anything, and they pretty much got it under control now. So now it's just a matter of time. Now we just need to, you know, dox as many of these people as we can. The FBI Twitter account has got links to where you can go to submit information and how you do it. We've already got several of these people identified and fired and totally canceled. And I'm not a big proponent of cancel culture or, you know, things of that nature. But in this case, these people are pretty much guilty of sedition, and nothing's going to happen. I'm sure that, you know, they will arrest several of these people. They will find them. But you know, as far as charging them with how they should be charged, I don't think they will. I don't think they're going to get a super hard sentence. I mean, they should, but we'll see. We'll see what comes out of it. But all right, folks, I'm off for tonight. I will see you all tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And this is the Be Progressive Show. I am Brandon Neal. Please like, subscribe, comment, share these videos on social media. It's very difficult for new YouTube content creators like myself, especially someone that's went into this genre of the political talk on YouTube. It's very saturated. So please just, if you like my stuff, send it to your friends and share it on social media. And I greatly appreciate it. So thanks for watching.